Today I'm going to be sharing some homeschool hands-on Valentine's Day ideas and activities. This is for preschool through about second grade, a variety of different ideas. Most can be done fairly inexpensively, and these are things that I didn't get all this year, but I've had from previous years, or things that I already had on hand or were fairly inexpensive. So the first one that I have is this big sensory bin, and in it, it's just a bunch of these like fabric petals. And there's some different like hearts in it. There are some Valentine's Day cards. And then I also have some of these little heart foam, I don't know if you want to call them wands. I had actually taken those out because my 18-month-old was trying to eat them, but the other kids really enjoy them. And I also have them in another activity. So you can use these to pretend to make soup or however you want. And they like having the Valentines in it. And again, different heart-shaped things, so fun sensory bin. And the kids love throwing these around like snow, so be prepared. Yeah, I forgot to mention these don't match, but they go together like this, and there would be different ones. And they like to put some of those littler hearts in these, which are really fun, and then they would pretend to mail those. Those were also not big sensory bin. They were just at the bottom. I believe I got those at Walmart last year. The next one I have is several different activities with these foam hearts. I believe I got these at Hobby Lobby last year. And these ones here, I've cut them all in half, so like broken hearts I have to put back together. And these ones are compound words, for example, butterfly, and they're all self-correcting. And I've got several different ones in here. So like there's seahorse, I've only got half right there. And there's like rainbow, and then into, sunflower, things like that. And you can see how they're all cut differently. Right now they're all mixed up so that it's not like you just take the one on top and instantly match it, and you can see like that. That's self-correcting. Those obviously would not go together. The next one is a shape one. And I just cut out the shape in it. So this one's a rectangle. Oh, that one's backwards. A diamond. A heart. They're kind of mixed up right now. The kids were playing with them. And then the last one I have, these ones were the white ones. They came in a pack. And these ones, again, are self-correcting, but half is the number and half is the heart. So those are 3 different ones. I believe these were like $5 or $6 for a pack last year. These are ones we used last year and we'll be using again this year. Have more of these foam wands, and these you can see the baby was trying to eat them. And these ones I actually have, so there's the 2 different ones, and I've got a whole bunch of like beads in colors that would be very Valentine's Day like. And this is a good fine motor activity where they can thread them on. This is also good for making patterns and different things like that. So you could make a pattern on one and have your kids match it. The next one I have got is an idea that you could use for several different things. So I have, this is an egg carton from one of those big boxes that you can get like 5 dozen eggs from. And then I've got different like candy molds in different cute little themed ones. And I've got pom-poms, so you can do like one-to-one correspondence here and take one and have them pinch it and put it in. The other thing you could do is if you have 2 of the same, and I believe this came as a pack of 2, you could put, say, 2 in here. Robert had 2, and Jenna had 2. How many did they have all together? So you could use that for addition. You wouldn't necessarily need 2 to do that. And here, this would be a little simpler version of that if you wanted to, so simpler for a younger child with less places to have to put them into. In addition to that, you could put simpler math equations, so like 4 plus 2 would be 6. And then if you wanted to do a larger one with larger one-to-one correspondence, you could use this one. Or you could do these for, counting, for multiplication. So, 2 times 2, that type of thing, which is what I actually am using this very large one for. And you can use the pom-poms, or you could use conversation hearts, or you could cut out some larger hearts, say from paper or whatever you've got on hand. And we've been using this, for example, I would say, what's 2 times 3? So my daughter would make 2 3 times, and then she would see it's 6. So that's a very visual way to do that. So that is a fun one. So that gives you several different levels for kids that are at different places for math. Also, I want to apologize. My hands are pink from dyeing Play-Doh. I didn't put gloves on when I should have. And that brings me to the next idea, of course, is Play-Doh. So we made some Play-Doh today. We've got red, purple, and pink. And then we did 2 different scents. We did a mint one and some cinnamon. And we said we wanted those built hearts. I mean, just anything. They're in the fun colors. So Play-Doh's great for every occasion, I feel like. Here I have another small sensory bin. This one would be maybe for some of my older kids because my baby would eat it. There's a scoop. Scoops are always fun, and we dyed. This is oats and rice, so we've got red, pink, and again purple. These came off of some cupcakes we had. These are little erasers, and then I put in letters in 3 different colors so they can find the letters. I may write up a sheet with the whole alphabet and see if they can find the whole alphabet. My older daughter, who's 2nd grade, will still like this, and she can try and build words. You can collect them in here, and there's lots of ones hidden. Super fun little sensory bin. And also in here I have these little bears. There's 12 of them. I bought 2 sets. I don't know how well you can see those. They're pretty teeny. And so there's 2 of each of them, so they can find them all and match them. That's super fun. Or they can just do some pretend play in here, you know, going around. They can make a little home. Lots of different ideas with that. And again, a lot of these things I had from previous years. Okay, the next thing I have is a lot of ideas with candy hearts. So, or the little conversation hearts. They changed them up this year, so I had to redo some of the things that I'd done in previous years. I put them all in this bag. And so for these little plastic cups, and we have those for this science experiment we're going to do. I found these printouts on Teacherspayteachers, and these are just a little experiment to see if they sink or float in these water, soda, vinegar. You could have, of course, make your own or add additional liquids. I also might leave them longer to see if they will dissolve in any of them. So this one's for my 2nd grader, so she can actually write her observation. And for my kindergartner and preschooler, they can just draw what they observe. So I've got those just set there so that I don't have to dig them out. So that's a conversation hearts activity, that science activity. I'll try and link that below. We've got several math ones. So here I put different numbers of stickers on each of these like cute little doilies. So we put one from here on each of them, a little counting activity, kind of in that same realm. So number recognition, so being able to count or being able to see the number here. So this would be 6, so you can put the little candy heart on there. This is also Teacherspayteachers, and they intended for you to use a clothes hanger to pinch on, but I was not going to pull out my laminator for these because we're moving soon and I had packed it. And there's several different cute ones in here. They're not all cupcakes, like there's little candies, and there's something else, ice cream cones. So there's a lot of them for practice. The next one would be, of course, just doing a simple graph. So I put them down here. I'll give my daughter, who's in 2nd grade, and probably my kindergartner even, a little bowl with all of the colors, and they can go ahead and graph it, and we can talk about which one has the most, which one has the least, that type of thing. The next one, this was one I had to redo this year, which is super simple anyways, because the colors changed, but just a color sorting activity for younger kids, early preschool or toddlers. So you got the different colors. Again, just give a little bowl and they can do it. This one, making the shapes with the candy hearts. You could do this with anything. Last year we did it with my 4.5-year-old. At the time, he was 4.5. He went ahead and did his name with the conversation hearts. So you could do letters, numbers, whatever you were working on. And this last one is fill in the blank with conversation hearts. And I know these 2 questions are the same, but there were lots of ones like, will you call me, or call me, hug me, those types of things, so she can put it in either one. And I set those ones aside so she can find ones that actually make sense and just put them in this little container. That'll be for my 2nd grader who can read a little fill in the blank. She likes fill in the blanks, so I think she'll think that's fun. And then in this bucket, I also had one thing that's not conversation hearts, but I just didn't want to forget to include it. And again, on the naming thing, I cut out these hearts and I went and cut them apart. And this is a little name puzzle. So they would put together, if I can even do it, their heart and it, or their name, and it would make a heart. So I did that for both my kindergartner and my preschooler. And I did one in red and I did my daughter's in pink, so they won't get them mixed up. So a fun little puzzle. Again, all of those are, you could do almost all of those ideas with just the bag of conversation hearts, and a lot of the Teacherspayteacher ones were ones I got free, and the doilies I think were like $1 or $2 last year. The next activity I have is this little mailbox. This mailbox last year was in our sensory bin and they loved it. They were pretending to mail it to each other, so it may find its way back there. So this one I have put some more of the little Valentines, and these were ones I got last year, so it's great to just like save stuff and use it again. And they were in the sensory bin, but this year I pulled them out so they can pretend to mail them. Also in here I put these little papers, and these papers, the back is blank, and they can draw or write their own Valentine. And then in here I also included some stickers to be used as pretend stamps so they can mail it. I included some pens. They can of course grab some crayons or whatever they want. And then I put envelopes in here. They don't fit quite perfect because my envelopes are a little big, but that's super cute, super fun, and it may find its way back in the sensory bin. And they can just leave it on the counter and pretend to mail them to each other. When they want to mail to like Nana or Grandma, I would be willing to do that for them also. Next we have motor skill activity and kind of Tic Tac Toe all in one. I found these at Hobby Lobby for like $5.99. Maybe one year we'll paint them, but I just pull out 2 sets. There's 9 different types of hearts, and it came with this little tray, and my kids have loved using this for Tic Tac Toe. We've actually used it for many different seasons, but it came with the hearts originally, and that's super fun. And we also use it with just this little can, and of course practice with fine motor skills. Or with an older, like preschooler, we have this little cardboard dice, but you could use a regular dice, you could use a 10-sided dice or 20-sided dice, or whatever you wanted if you wanted to go faster, and then they can count that number depending on how high they can count. My preschooler can't count to 20, but my kindergartner can count almost to 100, so whatever you wanted. You could even do, roll 2 numbers for an older kid, 2 plus 2 equals, and then they would put that many in there. But this is great. My 18-month-old was really enjoying that. And then we have got another really simple activity. This was just from cutting out hearts. So this is a similar idea to the foam ones. In here I've got different halves of all of the letters of the alphabet. Now this might be overwhelming for some kids to do the whole alphabet. That would be a lot of pieces. So you just have to judge on your kid, but you can just do like 10 letters, 5 letters at a time. And again, self-correcting, I cut them all different. The other thing I did for my older daughter, who can read really well, is instead of letters, I went ahead and did these ones with numbers, and it's for practice putting our phone numbers, mine and my husband's phone numbers, together correctly. So I did that. Another idea with this is you could have them put the numbers in order, so 0, 1, 2, etc. Or you could do like a greater than, less than with this. So, 0 is less than 7, and you could kind of even use the candy conversation hearts because they're kind of that shape of a triangle to use that. That would be fun. Okay, and then I have a bunch of different like printouts from Teacher Pays Teacher, with the exception of this one. I cut these little strips. I don't remember where I found these little stickers, but they're little sticker conversation hearts. These ones you can use these, or you could just cut out or color your own. And there's different levels of difficulty, just having to fill in 1, filling in 2, or different types of the patterns. So this one, of course, would then go orange, purple, and these are stickers so they can peel them off, or you could have them not and reuse them if you wanted to, like that. And we have about 10 different ones of those. Now these ones also, I'll link below, but different games. So you go ahead and you color them, and the first player would win that gets to 100. I think I'll use this with my kindergartner and my 2nd grader and have them race each other. I think that'll be fun. And then this one, we're going to use some dice, and for my preschooler, we'll just count as we go. And the first one, of course, to the finish wins. And then for the older kids, I'll probably use different dice to make the difficulty for each of them different. Several language arts activities for my oldest, who is 2nd grade, like I said. And so this first one would be kind of different, just writing prompts and writing words. So you come up, of course, with different words for each of the letters for love, and then describing a little bit about each of these for the prompts. And then this one is sorting by alphabetical order, cut them out and paste them, and coloring, which is, I don't know a kid that doesn't like coloring. This one has several different ones for older kids, and it came with answer sheets if you needed help. So here we're doing adjectives, synonyms, and then different ones like that. I don't know that I would have her do all of these in 1 week, but definitely good different resources for whatever you're working on. This was an interesting different one that I found, which is a comparison between Valentine's Day and President's Day, which is really cool since they're back to back this year. A little compare and contrast. And here there's a prompt all about President's Day, and then one about Valentine's Day, and then you fill out this sheet. And again, this included an answer key also if you need. This one is a little mystery, in case if your kids are into that, which would be a Valentine's Day mystery. So you're solving what happened to Snow White. I'll link this one below too, and then different math worksheets, which I can include below. On Teacherspayteachers, you can find literally anything you're working on, and a lot of them you can find free or fairly inexpensive. The last really hands-on one for younger kids, so any colander would work. These ones have the smaller sticks compared to the ones I showed you earlier for the beading. And again, this would be just motor skill activity. You can see this one is too large, so that's why I ended up using it for something else. This is super fun. My 4-year-old still likes this, even though she's older, and my 18-month-old was not, it was not too challenging for him. Then we have different crafts. I have these cardboard hearts. I feel like these came with the foam ones, but I mean, you could cut out a cardboard heart or just use a piece of paper. And what we will be doing is we will be using some tissue paper and tearing it and going ahead and gluing it on there. Fun craft activity. And then these ones we found at Hobby Lobby, which are these cute little gnomes to make. So there are 2 gnomes in each kit, so I picked up enough for all the kids to make one. And there's like, they have different clothes, so all the kids can kind of make a different one. And then bookmarks. I think this will mostly be for my 2nd grader who always needs bookmarks, and I'm running low on bookmarks, and they can just color them. So I might just set those out while we are doing like read alouds. And If the younger kids want to keep them, that's fine, or I'll just put the ones they color in my morning area. We then have a bunch of these that I put in page protectors. I'll just be putting them in my file folder area, and there's actually 3 different levels to this, but I only have 2 right now because I'm having issues with my colored ink. And there's one where it'll all be colored in so that younger kids can match. This one has the shapes, whereas this one doesn't have the shapes for a higher challenge, and then you can graph how many you needed. And of course, for that, you would need something like the patterning blocks, which would be more expensive and harder to get quickly, but a good idea also. So those are all the activities that we will be doing this week. Of course, other ideas that would be great are using YouTube. There is Cosmic Kids Yoga, and they have a Valentine's one that just came out. And then, of course, YouTube has music and all of those things. And then, of course, your library for Valentine's Day books.